episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, in the last episode, we had our first ever Champions League game, and would you believe it, to go with it, our first ever Champions League win, and away at Basel, no less. So an away win in the Champions League, for me, at Basel, our sort of main rival for third, gives us a real chance of at least getting some Europa League knockout action after Christmas. But really, our main rival in this group now has got to be Shakhtar. If we can get a win over them or do something at some point, there's a chance that we could even sneak through to the knockout stages. And I don't know what that does for you money-wise, but I tell you what, I bet that boosts your coefficient some. So that could be quite useful. Now, of course, we've still got to concentrate on actually getting into the Champions League again next year, which is going to be mighty fucking tough. With the board's expectations set to Europa League, I still worry, because you know how these things can go when that second season, it's just all, we got a lot of good results against some very, very good sides last year, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do that again. And as proven with the Man United result this year, even when you play well against them, they still beat you, and that's kind of what's continued to happen this month. Although, to be fair, in the Chelsea game, there was no two ways about it. They were the better side. They deserved to win this game. They were just better than us, and not a lot I can say about that. But the thing is, they weren't as dominant as they would have been in previous years. Of course, we obviously, beat them here last season. But my point is that in previous seasons, they would have, when you look at the goals that they actually scored to beat us, it was, well, look at this for a goal. So, firstly, terrible goalkeeping. Watch that overhead kick. I've not seen an overhead kick on FM this year, but there you go. There's your first one from Georgios Nikolaou of Chelsea. He sounds either Greek or Cypriot. Put them 1-0 up, and then they got a silly penalty and dispatched it. But that was it. That was their only goal scoring. They had a lot of clear-cut chances late on, but they weren't really. They were just sort of near the goal, but really tight angles. So we did okay. A 2-0 defeat, it wasn't the best result in the world, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst result in the world. And we did still have some injuries, and obviously, but I'm pretty pleased. Solomon Millington didn't get on the score sheet in this game, unfortunately, though, which was a bit of a shame, because he's had a fantastic start and obviously had 6 goals in his first 4 games of the season in the league, which is a phenomenal start. And if he could keep anywhere near that level of performance, I'd be very, very pleased with him. Right, now, I want to talk about the way the cups work in this game, because as you've known before, every time we've played in the cup against a team either lower league or of lower quality, they've suddenly become amazing. Now, I've got a brilliant sample set here to show you that exact point, in the sense that we played Forest twice at home in 2 days. So, same ground, same teams, and virtually the same starting 11s, and using the exact same tactics in both games. So I played the same, they played the same. I noticed that the formations were identical, it's just obviously the way the manager works. So, in the first game, in the cup, against Forest, notice we had more shots than them, same amount on target, a little bit more possession. We were particularly great. That being said, Corley Woodrow scored a penalty for them, and that was their only clear-cut chance of the game. We had 2, and we lost. We hit the crossbar twice in stupidly good positions, and really should have won this. But of course, because it's the cup, you go out. Now, a few days later, we played Forest in the league, and look, we beat them 6-1. How can we not? How is it that when you do that in the cup, you always seem to get battered? Or you just, even when you lose, it just seems that every time that happens. So, started off well with a Jack Watmore header there, bit poor goalkeeping, but we went 1-0 up after just 10 minutes. This was a truly brilliant performance from us, I have to say. But the point is, why is it in the league these results come easy when virtually the same team plays and losing the cup? Ivancic, with a wonderful play there, comes to Milton Peralta, who absolutely hammers that, and it's 2-0 after 17 minutes. And I'm thinking, right, why couldn't we do that during the week? I mean, the league is important, but the fact is, if we lose our cup objectives, the board could theoretically sack me, and it's really frustrating. At 26 minutes, things got even better for us here, when Ivancic, again, just mopping things up, slips it through to Musonda, and he just knows how to pick passes, Ivancic. He can just slide them into people here. Musonda then slides the ball through, and Norman Millington, with his 7th goal of the season, 7 in 6 matches now in the league, which is amazing. I mean, some of the other players, those of you who saw on Twitter, that Man United beat Everton 9-2 this month, and Sanabria scored 5 in that game. So those players like Robson and Sanabria and Ronaldo, and they are going to score loads. But Millington's given it a good old go. Ball over the top here, and Millington was able to make it 4-0 on 60 minutes with his 2nd of the match, and amazingly his 8th goal in 6 matches. So he's given it a real good go at becoming that prolific player. Then Forest got something I really didn't feel they deserved. Their only shot on target of the game, back of the net, Craig Dawson. But we weren't done. And I'm really pleased about that. 4-1 would have been a great result, but we weren't finished with that yet, because then we won a penalty, and Sir Norman Millington actually took the penalty, completed his hat-trick, and got his 9th goal in 6 matches, which is superb. I was just so pleased for him. He really is having the season of his life right now. He was good last year, but this year he looks like he could be a sort of 25 goal season player, potentially even more than that. Then, amazingly in stoppage time, you're going to see an amazing pass here in a sec. This is why I brought Borja in. Watch this for Gomez. Watch that for a ball. Like, that's the sort of thing that I think we just needed a little bit more of. So him and Peralta can do that too, but having him and Gomez around is certainly going to help us in the long run, because we can rotate them and they're still both excellent players. So my point is, League Cup, you lose 1-0 that game. Premier League, you win 6-1. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I know that obviously there's always that sort of random things will happen, of course, but that always seems to happen, and just because we got the games so close together, you can really see the difference between cup games and league games. It just seems to be like that. So it's a little bit irritating, because it really does mean the cup, no matter who you play against, seem to be ridiculous, as I found out when we played against Wimbledon a couple of years ago, when they were in League 2 and played exactly the same type of football, and still beat us, I think, on penalties in that one. So, yeah, we've never had any luck in the cup. We had that one good cup season, if you remember, where we beat a load of Premier League sides and got to the quarterfinals, I think, when we were in League One. I think it was in League One. So there's that. Now, we're going to take a little look at the squad, of course, and, well, one thing you want to see, of course, is top goal scorer versus Norman Millington, 10 goals in 8 games. That's all competitions. So not bad. In fact, no one else has even scored more than one. Watmore, Peralta, Gray, Musonda, Wallace and Ivancic have one apiece. Burrell's just not been getting a lot of game time at the moment, just because Millington is in such amazing form. Would you take him out of your starting lineup right now? I don't think so. And yeah, so there we go. Assists-wise, Santos has 4, Peralta, Musonda and Marcelo have 2. Player of the match, Peralta, Watmore, Millington and Wallace have 1 each. Yellow cards, Assenhouse has 2, but no one's really done anything silly there, apart from Ivancic getting himself sent off earlier. Average rating, of course, Jack Watmore, surprisingly, actually has a very, very good rating. So fair enough to him, but Millington is also right in there with Porno Stash closely followed. But Robert Gray has also had a really good season. I'm really starting to like this kid. He is... Look at the pace on him. For a centre-back, he has 19 agility, 18 balance, 17 pace, and also 17 strength. Like, he's a very unorthodox type of centre-back. He's never going to be winning loads of headers, but that being said, he's still got 17 heading. It's just his jumping reach is a little bit poor, and he's quite short. But for me, he has a completely different type of... Like, 17 marking is great, and 15 tackling as well. Anticipation is huge. He makes a lot of interceptions, I find, and damn, he's just a really, really good player. I'm so glad we brought him in. It's taken him a little while to hold down a place in our team now, but now that he has, he's got an England call-up, he's just looking phenomenal. He and Lopez Souza, for me, are my best partnership at the back, by an absolute mile. Although, that being said, David Francois is available and Dylan Verstraeten. So we've got a decent back, and Jack Watmore, of course. We've got 5 defenders that I could sort of move around, which is good. So, with that in mind, let's get into today's game. Now, we've got to talk about... actually, I'm just going to show you the Premier League. So, after all that, we found ourselves in 6th place, which really, when you look at the face of things, isn't actually even that bad. Like, we've lost 2 games, albeit against Chelsea and Man United, but we have won 3 and drawn the other one, which was away at Stoke. So, it's not been an awful start. Maybe conceded more goals than I would have liked in the long run. We're only 6 points off the top of the league. We're only a point off the Champions League spots, which is where we're aiming this year, and we're slap bang in the Euro League, which is where the board expect me to be. So, in fact, it's not been a bad start of the season. We've just had poor results against the likes of Man United and Chelsea. Chelsea themselves have had poor results. They lost against Everton the week after Everton lost 9-2. And as you can see, in fact, Robson and Sir Norman Millington are actually tied as top scorers in the Premier League with 10 goals apiece, which is fucking amazing, to be honest. I'm shocked that they were able to do that. Cardiff, amazing that Ryan Smith's got that many goals despite the poor start they've actually had. So there you go. Fulham are also bottom, but despite that, Dan Burner's got the most man of the match awards, which is really, really strange as well. So that's sort of a little bit of where that's sort of shaping up. So yeah, we've got Queen's Park Raisins in our next game, so that's going to be insanely tough, and we'll almost certainly lose that because I've yet to find a way to beat the bastards. I just can't do it. And they've got a new manager as well. Gerardo Martino is now managing QPR. So there's that. Right, let's get into the match preview screen now. We're playing Paris Saint-Germain. So you know what's going to happen. We are at home, but the fact is we've got to play this system. It's all about being defensively sound today. So it is going to be Assenhouse and Ivancic. I'm looking at maybe bringing in another defensive midfielder next summer, perhaps. Because as good as Ivancic is, and he is very, very good, I think he needs a better partner when we play this position, when we play this type of system, frankly. So yeah, that will probably do. Griffiths, is he fit? He is actually. Is anyone I could really... I don't think we need 2 centre-backs on the bench, personally. So I'm going to take Francois off and put Griffiths on the bench for this one. We've only got 2. We're not going to need both of them, are we? Seems a little unlikely, so that's a bit better. Decent. Looking decent so far. The problem is obviously going to be, it is Paris Saint-Germain. We are going to struggle, but with that being said, we're going to give it our best shot against them, because what other chance have you got, you know, if we were the point that puts us into a really good position late on, Basel and Shakhtar are playing, and it is away in Ukraine, so they've got Zivkovic up front. Christ, he's meant to be an absolute wonder kid, and he's 26 now, but I assume he's been smashing them in for PSG. Oh, he was at Southampton, of course, yeah. £45 million. They've still got the money then, it would seem. Human Tariq. Expect he moved for quite a big money. 29 million. Paris Saint-Germain are just splashing the cash here, aren't they, really? Marquinhos, Barrea, Mario. Is that Christian Eriksen? Sorry, I'm just looking through their team a little bit here. Still only, he's 30 now, I suppose, but 49 million. Bloody hell, I would love to see what they've spent over, their last few games, last few seasons in terms of transfer budget. Bloody hell. We shouldn't be coming anywhere near beating this lot, or getting even close to it. So we're going to go with our counter-attacking style, because they're almost certainly going to come here and try to beat us. So we've just got to do our best. I fully expect us to lose this game, but it's not really about that for me. It's about... Bloody hell. It's about us testing ourselves against a truly world-class opposition, basically, and seeing what we can come up with. Millington, with the way he's been playing in the league, you wouldn't be surprised if he did bag a goal. Given a chance, he is getting more and more prolific in terms of taking his chances, and that for me is what makes him absolutely vital for our season success, I think. We're creating probably the same amount of chances, but the point is we're putting more of them in the net just because Millington is able to get the goals that he wasn't last year. So poor effort there. 20 minutes in and we're actually holding our own against PSG. I'm pretty impressed for this so far, but I do think that Zivkovic is going to be an absolute nightmare for our defenders. Thankfully, I feel like a long shot's going to be the killer for us. And tipped over the bar by Vega. Good stuff. First shot on target of the game comes after just nearly half an hour for PSG. And we look all right, actually, today. Ivančić will clear that comfortably. So half an hour gone, basically, and we're actually not doing too bad. I'm fairly impressed with this. We're keeping a clean sheet so far, which is surprising. I expected them to come at us and really have a crack. I might even go off of counter in the second half, and that being said, we are actually playing quite well on counter, so maybe we'll stick to it. But I just wonder if there is a chance if we go on standard mentality wise, because we're already trained for it, just not with this formation, and it wouldn't make any difference. I might, if we're sort of still hanging in there come sort of 65 minutes, I might switch up to standard and try and surprise them with a bit more forward motion rather than giving them the ball all the time. But the thing is, we've still got 49% possession despite playing a tactic that relies on counter-attacking, so they're clearly not particularly bothered about keeping a lot of possession themselves. Maybe it's unless they're trying to play a counter-attacking system, and because we're letting them have the ball, it's being sort of thwarted, so to speak. And there you go. Richero Zivkovic makes it 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. And, well, it was I guess it was coming. I mean, not really. Poor from, should have won the ball there, really. Just head it. And I don't know why he's got his hand up. Just concentrate on stopping the goal first, Santos' ball, and that's really poor from him, actually. Oh, Wallace, can he go? Oh, he scored! It's 1-1. Jed Wallace scores in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain. Would you bloody believe it? Immediate response there from Portsmouth. Pompey 1, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Amazing. What a great finish that was from Jed Wallace. I don't know why he keeps swinging him in there, but the point is, come back to Wallace. Great touch there. And what a lovely finish through the traffic there. And I can't believe the keeper didn't save that, actually. And here's Robert Gray now for Portsmouth. They've got the ball back again. Musonda. Musonda, ball through. Norman Millington. Musonda. Wallace! Oh my God! Jed Wallace has scored twice against Paris Saint-Germain for Portsmouth. We are winning at home against Paris Saint-Germain. I think if we win here, we're almost guaranteed ourselves a chance at getting through to the next round. Really good presence from Musonda. Bad defending from PSG, and it is 2-1 Portsmouth. Even if they come back at us, which they're almost certainly going to do, I'm definitely staying on counter-attacking now, because we're going to try and catch them on the break. That's all we can really do. I think they probably might still beat us, which is a shame. But as long as we don't do anything stupid to allow them to beat it. Oh, not another penalty. Oh, well done, Vega. It is still 2-1 Pompey here. And frankly, I don't think... Well, I mean, okay, no, I think a draw would be a more fair sort of representation of the game at the moment when you look at the shots and stuff, possession-wise. Shakhtar are 3-0 up against Basel, so they're having a good old go at them. What can we change? Who's looking a little bit knackered? Jed Wallace is the most knackered, but I don't have... Oh, actually, yes, I do. I've got Worley. Is that wise bringing off Wallace, though? He's playing so well. No, I don't want to bring him off. I'm going to bring on Borja Gomez for Assenhoos here to play as our deep line playmaker. He can do it, he's creative, and he actually can play as a defensive midfielder. So I think he's not fully fit. I think that's the main reason he's not started this game. Oh, lordy. And wait for the crap to happen. Right. Kieran Griffiths is going to start. Not start, but you know what I mean. Come on. Oh, if we win this... I don't think we will. I'm very negative in these sort of situations just because you know how disappointing it is when you nearly pull off a huge result. So I'd rather look at this as like, well, we're in a good position to get a draw out of this, you know. We have to... If we can avoid conceding twice in the last 19 minutes, we've got at least a good chance of a draw. Santos out wide here. Whips it across. Millington... Oh, that's really poor. But Ivancic is an... Wow. PSG had nobody forward there ready to get that, and Ivancic can just mop up. And I don't think their tactic's working. They've got nobody in that position, and Ivancic can just intercept and mop up everything. Back out wide to Charlie Taylor, maybe an early cross this time rather than all the way across, and it's cleared again. And it goes to Gomez, to Griffiths. Will he have a shot? Goes to Santos. Santos! Oh my goodness gracious me. It is Portsmouth 3, PSG 1. Santos scores his first goal for Portsmouth, I think. That surely has to wrap it up. Lovely stuff from us, though. Just glorious football here. Griffiths with the ball inside. Santos dribbles past into the box, and a really cool left-footed finish. Barea couldn't get a foot to it. It is 3-1 to us, and I'm quite happy to sort of stay on counter-attacking for this last few minutes. We're quite structured. We are... I might go defensive on sort of 80 minutes. Oh, no, not that. They're not going to score straight from the kickoff, are they? So often that happens, and so often I get irritated by it. Come on, this is our real chance to beat a big side. A team that have spent... I mean, you can see how much they've spent. I don't need to tell you, but you'll already know. Oh, come on, what was that for defending? Good tackle. They both screwed that up, and that was nearly a very dangerous moment for us, but we've managed to survive. I'm thinking going a bit more defensive for the... Oh, hello. Griffiths has got this here. Can he slip it through for Millington? He can. Millington can have a run at this man here. He's gone past it. Oh, that's an absolutely horrendous effort. What are you doing, Norman? Just... We're going to go on defend and waste time. We've got 10 minutes. I'll be very disappointed if our defenders cannot hold out. We've got 6 of them, essentially, and they're all on defensive now, so we should be able to survive one last little onslaught from them for the remainder of this game. In fact, we don't even need that because it looks like they've not been able to come up with anything. And a 3-1 victory against Paris Saint-Germain it is. And it looks like Europe is going very well for Portsmouth right about now. We're already going to be 6 points clear of dropping out of a Europa League spot in the table here, and we're now top of the table. A 3-1 victory at home to Paris Saint-Germain. Jed Wallace is my hero in that game, but what I would say is that Kieran Griffiths did very well as well after coming on. So we just looked really good. Like, I can't fault the team for that performance. We were absolutely flawless. When we went behind, I thought, oh, here we go. But we didn't. We dug deep, and I'm really liking that about us now. We actually look like a team that can do those kind of results. Weird that Club Brugge are also winning their group. Genoa winning their group. Stoke having a terrible old time. So, yeah. Guess what the money does for you there. Kyle Forbes is the top goal scorer in the tournament at the moment. Wow. So there we have it. We are top of our Champions League group. And I'm ecstatic about that, to be honest. So, right. Okay, what I usually do is I usually skip this game here when I do this. So what we're going to do is in the next episode, we're going to come back and do the Shakhtar home game because that's huge for us. And then we'll skip the away game. And in the next episode, you'll see the Basel home game. Basically, that's the way I think that should work. No, it's our first season in the Champions League. We've got to show it. So yeah, next episode we'll be doing the Shakhtar home game, then we'll do the Basel home game, and then it will be Paris Saint-Germain, basically, and then after that, depending on what happens. So, if you guys have liked what you've seen, and I can't believe that you haven't by now with that kind of result, then please feel free to drop a like on the video, and if you liked it even more than that, please feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys in the next episode for the Shakhtar Donetsk game. That could be key for us. Bye-bye.